What's up guys? I'm here in my Chinaman's hat, which is that little thing over there. And I'm gonna try and show you guys how I do the aerial composition. I've got the grids. I've got the Route 6 grid on my iPhone 7 Plus, and I'm gonna show you how I do this with the drone and fly it over there and see if I can get a good composition. Okay, so I'm flying to the island right now, and we can see that the distant island in the background is kind of interfering with the shape, so I'm going to take it to the left a little bit, and we can get a clear figure ground relationship, and then we can compose it from there. So, just getting closer, and we could probably lock it into this reciprocal on the right. So I'm going to take it to this way, and I'm also looking at the lighting on there, and I'm going to have a good figure ground relationship with the distant islands, and I'll probably just raise it up a bit so the tip of the island is with the white clouds in the background. So I'm not going to lock it into the reciprocal, I'm just going to kind of parallel it if I can, and see if I can get left to include everything. Alright, so we've got the whole island on there. We've got good figure ground relationship. The tip of the island is showing, and I'm almost locked into that right reciprocal. Let's see if I go a little bit more right. See what it'll look like. Not bad. So I'm balancing it, looking for high contrast around the edges, and it looks pretty good for right now. So now I'm going to try the other side. So this is the side the light's hitting on, and I'm going to try and line it up with the distant mountains in the distance. Let me back up a little bit. So right now we can see the tip of the island is, well, you can see someone up there. So I got weak signal, and it just blanked out. Now it's coming back a little bit. So the tip of the island is overlapping badly with the background, so all I got to do is raise it up a little bit. And I think the reason it's giving me weak signal is because I'm behind this island. So now I should be able to have better signal here. Let's see. So I want to try and get the island plus the mountains in the background. So right here, you can see the island. I'm going to go a little bit left. Maybe the tip of the island can create a coincidence to the tip of the distant island. I'll go back a little bit, and it looks pretty good. I'm going to focus on the island. And I'm a little overexposed because I'm shooting in D-Log. And let me go back just a little bit more and up. And I'm going to tilt the gimbal up just a bit. So that's what that looks like. That's full screen. I'm composing to full screen. Now let me try composing just to the grid, the Route 6. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit, maybe go to the left. See, I don't like this lighting. I want a little bit more shadows, so if I go on this side, we'll get a little bit more depth with the shadows. I'm gonna try and, let's see. This is the first time I've flown over here too, so this is all kind of new to me. So I'm going down and then tilting up a little bit. And I'm gonna have to go back. Let's see. Let me just go a little bit more left. We'll get a balance with the background, which isn't really visible, but I'm gonna do a flyby. So once you get your composition correct, let's create a coincidence on the right side there with the island and the distant island. So we can see the tip kind of lining up to the side of the rebaited square. The vertical has dropped down, we are locking in right now. All right, so I'm gonna tilt down. I'm gonna fly by, and I'll do it slowly. So I took it out of sport mode. And then I'm gonna just fly by and then tilt up towards the distant island. So once we have our composition kind of locked in and the balance correct, then we can do our cinematics. It's moving pretty slow. Okay, so I'm flying by, I'm at shutter 100, ISO 100, shooting 4K, and now I'm going to tilt up and get the islands. And stop right about there, and that looks good. So let me see if I can get one more shot and put it in sport mode. And let's see, let me fly above it and look down at it. So I'm gonna get pretty high.
Maximum flight altitude reached.
Okay, so I can't go any higher. That's high enough. And let's see if we can find some diagonals from here. And I've got one right here in the ground. So I'm going to set that as my beginning point, and I'm going to make sure I'm clear to fly there. I'm going to line up this diagonal a lot better, and then I'm going to fly forward, focus, fly forward, and then tilt up. Okay, so here we go. See, and then tilt up. Now we have the distant islands. All right, now let's turn back around, and I'm going to do a flyby. Let me see where the island is. Let me do a flyby on the left side here. I've got 57% battery, so let's see how this looks, if I can pull it off. I'm going to line up my island again. So get a little bit lower, and I don't want to be behind the island because that's where I lost the signal. So I'm coming down a little bit more, and maybe I can create a little negative shape between the distant island and the foreground island. Let's see. I'm trying to fit them together a little bit. Well, I want to get lower than that, so let me compose it so this island is in the foreground. Okay, and then I'm paying attention to the background because I want to create a nice balance and coincidence, but I want to get lower. Let's see, get a little bit lower, a little bit. And then see how it's overlapping the distant island? I kind of want to go to the left so it's separate. Okay, a little bit lower. I'm at 38 meters high according to my display here. All right, so that's a good balance. We've got the reciprocal, the 45-degree angle of the rebated square on the right, kind of locking in to the island. Let me move up just a bit. And then the distant island is not overlapping, and it's creating a nice balance from the left to the right side. And let me tilt up just a bit. All right, so now I'm going to do a flyby and see how that looks. I'm going to focus on the foreground island and just do a flyby real quick. There we go. And I'm on sport mode, so I'll move a little quicker.
Where you flying it at?
How you doing? Right around this island here,
Oh,
to the left of it.
okay. Which one you got?
The Mavic, the real small,
Oh, we got the.
that folds up.
Yeah, I bought the one that doesn't fold up for our office.
Oh, cool.
We're still waiting to get our COAs on it and stuff because we got to have licensing before we can use them.
Okay, so that was Ranger. Thought I was in trouble for a sec. But I am registered with the FAA. Not that that really matters too much, but I'm kind of almost out of battery. Let me bring it back in and we'll see what we got. That might be good. So thanks for tuning in, you guys, and I look forward to making more of these. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's very hard to fly this thing and talk at the same time, so I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.